الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وعن عبد الله بن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تذهب الدنيا حتى يملك العرب رجل من أهل بيتي يواطئ اسمه اسمي رواه الترمذي وأبو داود وفي رواية له قال لو لم يبق من الدنيا إلا يوم لتول الله تعالى ذلك اليوم حتى يبعث الله فيه رجلا مني أو من أهل بيتي يواطئ اسمه اسمي واسم أبي اسم أبي يملأ الأرض قسطا وعدلا كما ملئت ظلما وجورا. The coming of Imam Mahdi. My dear respected brothers and elders, the hadith I have recited is regarding the coming of Imam Mahdi. And as in the previous durus before, we had gone through the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam related to Masjid al-Aqsa and special virtues of Sham and Masjid al-Aqsa. And continuing from this, as the end of times, it's important for the Muslim to know what is going to happen. It's a subject which many have a lot of interest in also. But it's not just about having interest, it's about understanding and making some change in our life. As time comes to the end, Imam Mahdi will come. As Muslims, it's important we understand what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned about Imam Mahdi. Because towards the end of times, people will be confused. People are confused now. They don't understand what is the truth and what is falsehood. There are many people that have come in the past, and even up until now, even recent, people that are claiming that we are Imam Mahdi. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. They do not even have the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the bed, and making such claims and mockery on YouTube and asking people to make alliance and pledge. And some innocent people are falling for this. So how will Imam Mahdi look? When we understand what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has mentioned, then we can clearly identify that this person is wrong and he is a liar. What will Imam Mahdi look like? How will he be? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has explained to us. Firstly, we need to get the name right. Majority of the brothers that I have come across and heard pronounce the name of this Imam wrong. The name is Imam Mahdi and they say Imam Mendi. Many of us sitting here know Mendi is something which ladies, a type of brown color that they put on their hands, or patterns that they make at the time of Eid. This is what Mendi is. The Imam, the rightly guided Imam, his name is Mahdi. So as I mentioned many times, a lot of the brothers that I've come across, they don't pronounce this name. So the first thing we need to correct is the name. His name, the rightly guided, is Mahdi. What did the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mention about him? Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anh narrated Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the world will not end before the Arabs are ruled by a man. So the Arabs will be ruled by a man. Now this does not refer to only Arabs, it refers to the whole world. But because Arabs have this distinction, so this is why the Arabs have been mentioned. Because the first thing that the people that he will rule over is the Arabs. And people will pledge alliance to him without him calling. So the actual real Mahdi will not tell people that I am Mahdi. But people will see his righteousness and his piety and his taqwa near the haram and near the Kaaba. Nowadays people are claiming this themselves. So the world will not come to an end until this does not happen. Now, if we look, you will find or hear maybe some people on YouTube that say that there's no Mahdi that will come. It could refer to any rightly guided person towards the end, which could be Isa alayhi salam and so on. This is incorrect and going against majority of the Ummah. Because majority of the Ummah hold this belief that Imam Mahdi will come. Isa alayhi salam will come also. But Imam Mahdi will come. So those that hold this, the minority, only a few maybe that you will hear on YouTube regarding this, do not fall for this trap also, because the majority hold the opinion that Imam Mahdi will come, as we know from the hadith. Now, Imam Mahdi will be belonging to my progeny, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. So firstly, who is Imam Mahdi? He's from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from Fatima radiyallahu anha. The scholars differ. From Hazrat Fatima, is Imam Mahdi from Hazrat Hassan or Hussein? So they mentioned that Imam Mahdi from his father's side will be Hassani, meaning he's from Hazrat Hassan radiyallahu anhu. And from his mother's side he will be Husseini, from Hazrat Hussein radiyallahu anhu. Hazrat Fatima radiyallahu anhu has two sons, Hassan and Hussein. Hassan was the elder brother and Hussein was the younger brother. So from the father's side, Imam Mahdi will be a Hassani, and from the mother's side, Husseini. And his name will be the same as my name. His name will also be Muhammad. According to another version of Abu Dawood, he said, even if nothing but a day of this world remains, Allah will lengthen that day till he sends in a man of my descendants. Or he said, of my family, whose name will be my name and whose father's name will be the same as my father's name, meaning Abdullah will be also his father's name. He will fill the earth with justice, meaning there will be adl and justice in the world. Before that time, the whole world will be full of dhulm, oppression. These things Rasulullah has told us. This dhulm, oppression is going to continue when it gets to the extreme. Then, when Imam Mahdi comes, the earth will be filled with justice. Again, and when Isa alayhi salam comes also. He'll fill the earth with justice, just as it was filled before his time with oppression and injustice. Do we not see these two things happening? Oppression and injustice. The whole world is full of injustice, oppression. Even now we're living in a time where people see what is the right thing, but they still will turn a blind eye. Injustice, oppression. People would get justice and the rights just as they were drained to them. So when Imam Mahdi will come, they will get their rights. And the earth will be filled with justice. عن أم سلمة رضي الله عنها قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول المهدي من إترتي من أولاد فاطمة رواه أبو داود. Salama radiallahu anha narrated she heard Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam say, Mahdi will be from my stock, from my children of Fatima radiallahu anha, as we've gone through this in the previous hadith. عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم المهدي مني أجهل الجبهة أقنى الأنف يملأ الأرض قسطا وعدلا كما مدئت ظلما وجورا يملك 7 سنين رواه أبو داود. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu narrated Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Mahdi will be from my stock, meaning from my family. He will have a broad forehead and a long nose. He will fill the earth with justice and fairness. Just as he was filled with oppression and cruelty, he will rule for 7 years. Meaning, he will be from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his appearance will be like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also had a broad forehead, and the nose, which is not seemingly, it looks like that, seemingly long. So he will also resemble Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the forehead and nose, and he will rule on the earth for 7 years. 7 years. He will rule on the earth, which will be filled with justice, with adl. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said while speaking about Imam Mahdi, a man will come to him and request him, give me, O Mahdi. So he will fill both hands and continue to pour into his garment whatever he is able to carry. This is a generosity of Imam Mahdi. We know Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam how generous he was, and how generous after his demise his wives were and his family. So he will be from that family. So when someone asks him, he will continue giving and giving. So he'll be very generous also. Salama radiallahu anha narrated the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when the Khalif, the ruler of the time during the last day dies, there will be some disagreement, and amongst the Madanis will flee to Mecca. Some of the Meccans will come to him and bring him out to take him as their leader, but he will be reluctant to accept the assignment. So those that are claiming themselves that they are Mahdi, is very clear. Them inviting themselves and saying this, Imam Mahdi will not do this. But he will be reluctant for people to assign him as their leader. However, they will pledge alliance to him within the Kaaba and between the Rukn of Hajar al-Aswad and the corner of the Kaaba where the black stone lies, and the Maqam Ibrahim, the station of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Then an army will be sent against him from Sham, Syria, by his king, but they will be swallowed up in the earth of Bayda, a desert between Mecca and Medina. When the people learn of that, the Abdal, the righteous, who are the few but their number is always constant, of Syria, the righteous man, friends of Allah, of Iraq, will come to him and pledge alliance to him. Thereafter a man of the Quraysh, whose maternal relations belong to the tribe of Kalb, will arise and dispatch an army against this man and his sympathizers. This army will be defeated in spite of the army, the sport of the tribe of Kalb. That will be the fate of the army of the tribe of Kalb. This man will be lead people by the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ and his way. He will establish Islam in the earth and will live for 7 years before dying. The Muslims will offer the funeral prayer over him. Again, a bit more detail regarding Imam Mahdi and how he will come. And as I have mentioned, there are some that also hold this belief regarding Imam Mahdi, that he is the 12th Imam and at the moment is hiding in a cave, and when it's the right time he will come out. That is false also, that claim that they are making, and declare him as the 12th Imam and he's hiding in a cave. So from the hadiths that we have heard, it's very clear the appearance of Imam Mahdi and what will happen. He will not go and say to people that come and pledge alliance to me, but people will do it themselves when he comes from Medina to Makkah near the Kaaba. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to understand what we have heard. May Allah forgive the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah have mercy on the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and may Allah overlook the faults of the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.